Welcome, friends, to the Beaver Dam. We're going to be talking about probably my least favorite legendary event and trying to get this sexy hunk. Obviously, this is a rough one for a lot of people. I found a great way to do it, a way that will minimize your pain, and I will try to take you through it to the best of my abilities. And so we are going to jump right in. Keep in mind, just side disclaimer, if you're struggling with this, if you don't have good enough mods, or if you just want to make it real easy for yourself, just take all of them except for Second Sister up to Relic 7. They're required for the Riva event anyways. It's not going to be a waste of your time. So, that being said though, I'm going to show you how to do it with the base requirements, Relic 5, the minimum Zetas, and, the minimum mods. So jumping right in, I'm going to show you these mods. So I have these guys in the order of speeds that you want them. So you want 7th Sister fastest, then 8th brother, then 5th brother, 2nd Sister, 9th Sister. More important than the actual speeds is this overall turn order. I've tried to take them to the lowest speeds I can with my 6-dot mods. The problem is there's only so many 6-dot mods that I have that are bad. I typically just, unless they're 10 or more speed is my general rule if it's a pilot, and then if it's not a pilot, it's usually a really good mod as what I take to 6-dot. So I tried to use just my, random 6-dots as much as possible, and so 250 to 280 range seems to be great. If you do it with less speed with the same term order, please throw it in the comments section. I want to hear about it. I want others to hear about it. I want to make this the easiest that we can possibly make this for everyone. So with the 7th Sister, all of these mods mostly is going to be this right side that's important. Left side obviously usually isn't. So offense, health are our two sets, and then we're doing an offense, crit damage, and speed. And so crit damage and offense are kind of all you want because these guys hit like wet noodles, and so we're trying our best to get that going. So 287 for her. Next up we have our 8th brother, who's at 286. You don't need him one speed less. I just ended up like that. Crit damage and health is the set for this guy. Once again, speed, crit damage, offense. Going to our next person, we got 5th brother, 281. So obviously it's just slower than the last person. It's not necessarily like you have to have it that exact speed. Because I was having trouble, because he's one of the fastest, I was having trouble not having him go first, and so honestly this guy's mods don't actually matter that much, but I found the most helpful when I was using offense. Health, a lot of people say speed on here. I just find I just end up with too fast of a 5th brother, and so I actually ended up using a health mod here. Crit damage, offense, you know how it is. Just make sure you're slower than the 8th brother. Next up, we got 2nd Sister at 274. Once again, we're just trying to get a little bit slower than the last one. To get slower, I did have to drop a speed mod because, once again, my mods are good, unfortunately, and so I can't really test bare minimums here. Offense right here, I don't actually have a crit damage triangle. If you have a crit damage triangle, throw it on. And then we got just all health for 9th Sister, some speed, and then just some health or protection. Whatever you happen to have really is all you need for 9th Sister. You're just trying to make her as beefy as possible. So for Zetas, overall, we're rocking 2 Zetas. And the first one is going to be ID9 enemy intelligence. This is absolutely required, like non-negotiable. You need the ID9 enemy intelligence Zeta. And then as for the other one, you have the bladed hilt Zeta. This is optional. I would suggest it because it makes life easy, and you want it anyways for the Riva team, so you might as well grab it. Very, very, very helpful for this overall event. And then that's basically it. As long as you have those speeds, you're good. We're going to be transitioning between the 2nd Sister lead and the 5th brother lead. So you need to make sure you have those leads leveled up. So jumping into the first tier you only have 4 people, not 5, which is, iffy, but whatever. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take 2nd Sister as our lead, and we'll use 2nd Sister for most of these tiers. There's a couple that you use 5th brother for, and it's mostly because of the durability. So you get offense out of 2nd Sister, and then you get durability out of the 5th brother. And so there's some that you're just kind of whittling down someone and you don't want to die, so you use 5th brother. So throw in the rest of your people minus the 9th Sister, and we jump in. So Every single time you do a one of these tiers, you're going to have the first round be fighting the Grand Inquisitor, and then after that you'll fight a Jedi or semi-Jedi. And so on this one, he is quite fast. I don't know why he's so fast in this tier, but he's very fast. You're faster than him in every other tier with these mods, but he's fast in this, and I don't know why. He also is missing like half his kit. Obviously he didn't get ability blocks out. The rest of the tiers, that's going to be different. So we're going to open with this will ability block him and remove turn meter, and we'll kind of just go over the abilities as we use them. We get some burning, some good debuffs with this one, and then if we have that 5 or more stacks of purge, we can hit that armor shred with this, and so we want to keep an eye out on that. We're just going to kind of work through him as much as we can. These two abilities, his middle one, Buff Dispel, super nice. Also, if they have any purge on them, you hit a expose, which is super helpful for all of these tiers. That expose comes in handy because once again they hit like wet noodles. This last ability gives you protection up equal to the amount of stacks of purge. For I think it's 10% for each stack. Yeah, 10% for each stack. So super nice. We're just gonna hit this, try and kill him quickly, and we'll kind of just follow that overall for our just in general whenever we're fighting the Grand Inquisitor. Big hit, and we're done. Jumping into the second tier, we're against Luminara. This is an easier one. We kind of just want to survive. Just basic. We don't have any purge to use, so. And then right here, this is the saving grace. This is the Zeta. That's the must-have. The ID9. So you basically consume. If the enemy has purge, you heal more, but otherwise you just heal the target ally for quite a bit, and then everyone else for a bit more. So basically, the main target gets a ton of healing, everyone else gets just a little bit of healing. And so she's the weakest, so we're going to heal up her. So immediately we're already doing good, and the other important part is the foresight. The foresight is what allows us to do a lot of these tiers. So keep that in mind, that foresight is beautiful. Get some of that protection up going. She's not quite at five stacks, and once she's at 5 stacks, we can actually stun her with this ability. And so we're just going to basic and hold on to our ability for now. We might not even get back around to it, but it's fine. We're trying to build up our stacks of purge as much as we can, trying to get, you know, things like healing immunity, things like this armor shred. Really unfortunate dodges right there. That was awful. But I mean, honestly, this is not the hard tier. This is an easy tier. So we got that healing immunity, and we're just going to finish her off. And there we go. So tier 1's super easy. And like, it's just kind of knowing the kit. And I hope you guys do know the kits. If you don't, watch this video all the way through. Going into tier 2. So tier 2 is a little interesting. You need to use second sister lead period, because her lead allows you to have, whenever an ally is marked, everyone's marked, and so it keeps focus off of a specific character and allows you to survive a bit longer. It also gives some good damage, and that's what we care about. So we can jump in. We got here a Grand Inquisitor. Grand Inquisitor is going to be a little annoying from here on out because his AoE will now ability block. He's also slower and gains a ton of turn meter. This is how he'll be for the rest of the tiers. So we'll open up with that ability block, removing the turn meter. We're going to hit this. And there's some good RNG and some bad RNG in his opening play. So we're going to hit expose. If we get good RNG, he'll hit torture, just like that. If we get bad RNG, he'll hit ability block immediately, and we'll have to work through him a little longer. But thanks to him doing that, we can be able to, you know, get him out of his protection really quickly and kind of just put some solid work in him. And if we get really lucky, we can get to the point where we can kill him right here. And voila. So that is excellent RNG. Here, this is really the only thing you're looking for is 7th Sister not getting killed off immediately, because she's your damage dealer. And if that doesn't happen, you're good. You should be able to finish this no problem. Honestly, I would probably back out if you do lose her, but you can do what you want. Oh my gosh, the dodges are killing me. I'm just going to hit that just for fun. Remove some turn meter. We will get some healing out there, as well as specifically some foresight to keep people alive. When it comes to 9th Sister, you never want to use this ability. It consumes stacks of purge, and you need stacks of purge. And the benefits that you get from this, really don't help that much. So don't ever use that ability on her in basically any of these tiers. Very close to losing a guy, but it's fine. We're going to lose him right here. Works still good. Let's hit him with an ability block, remove some turn meter. Let's get some protection up, keep our guys alive a little bit longer. Basic, because we don't want to use that middle ability. Big hit. Solid. Big hit. Okay, we're going to get some healing back out on the team, mostly for the sake that we get foresight. Let's get that expose, be able to deal a lot of damage. Basic again, because we don't want to use that middle ability. And as you can see, this is pretty easy overall. It's just RNG of whether or not you lose the 7th Sister off the base. If you do, you're going to have to probably restart. But otherwise, fairly easy for the overall second tier. Tier 3, it's not much different. This is where having the 8th brother does come in handy for his Zeta. But you still don't need it. I did it the first time without it. You just have to time things out. I've done this with the 5th brother as well as the lead, and you can still do it. It just takes a bit longer, and it's much harder without the Zeta because you're missing out on a lot of the damage. So same kind of thing. We try and get a good RNG run here, and if it's a bad RNG run, we just kind of deal with it. So good RNG run once again. So big hits, and we've got the ability blocks. And we just start making our way through, and that should lock it in. Voila. Okay, jumping into the second tier. The second tier is Kanan. And Kanan's just a beefy person, really annoying. We don't have any purge, so we're not going to hit that. Basically, we're just going to want to try and keep him under stun, under ability block, and try to keep as many stacks of purge on him as we can, because if we can keep high stacks of purge, we can keep getting healing immunity, and healing immunity will allow us to kill him because he gains health off of debuffs. That's how his kit works, and so we want to stay away from that as much as we can. Of course, getting the healing as well as the foresights is always going to be nice. Let's jump in and kind of keep going. We'll just basic here because there's no point in hitting our last ability if we don't have a whole bunch of purge. Get some protection up, protect our team, you know. We do have enough for a stun, so I don't see why not. Oh, that's right, it's 5, not 4. My bad, it's fine. Let's get rid of those buffs, just so that way we can make sure we're actually working on his health. But see, now he has healing immunity, and so we can kind of just keep working on him and getting through everything that he has. He does have over 5 stacks, so let's get that armor shred, make it really easy on ourselves, and see if we can finish him off with that. And there you go. And so if you're running without the Zeta and you're running without the 2nd Sister lead, you're going to have to try and time the healing immunity. Make sure you don't remove any any of the purge, and you just kind of keep playing the field until you can kill him off. It just takes a little bit longer to set up. Tier 4, this is the one that's a nightmare. This is the one everyone hates, but we will kind of go through it start to finish. I'm using 2nd Sister lead. You may have to run this a couple times, but this was the easiest that I found. You can use 5th brother lead, follow the same exact process, and use the 5th brother lead, but it's more of a gambling game of whether or not you can kill off Ahsoka, and that's annoying to me. Like, I cannot tell you how painful that was going through that. So I found that if you can get this to work, like if you can get the timing down, you have 0 problems. And of course, getting your characters a little bit faster will help you out, but it's not fully necessary. So we're opening up with this overall, once again, the same way. Get that expose on him, hammer in. Looks like a good RNG run again, which is great for us. And then if we're lucky, we'll get it right there. And voila, we're into the 2nd tier. Okay, so this is the nuanced level. This is really, really nuanced, and it's a pain in the butt to do. So we're gonna build up purge as much as we can, whenever we can. But the big thing is you need to dodge attacks from her, because you can see how devastating her attacks are. You basically are trying to get dodges out there. So we're gonna heal up her, keep her alive, because she's definitely the most important. And so now she has Retribution, And so now we can afford to just hit her wantonly, and we will dodge. Whenever we dodge, she gets a stack of this, which is minus 10% defense, minus 4% max health, plus 20 offense, minus 15 speed, and minus 10% tenacity. So we're basically just making it easier and easier to apply things and deal damage, and we're trying to get to 10 stacks. Once she has 10 stacks, she'll hit like a freight train, but also will have the ability to kill her super easily. But that it's fully on whether or not we are playing well. So we'll basic, continue to get our retribution hits onto our foresight. That was a very unfortunate dodge, I'm going to be honest, but we got a dodge there anyways, so that works out fairly well. Get a dodge there. Get a dodge there. And then because we're running out of people with foresight and I don't want to die, I'm actually going to dispel her current thing. And then we'll just kind of keep going with basics. Okay. This is where we get scary. Whew, we're good. We're going to clear it off again. Solid, solid. And we are up to 5 stacks, so just to make ourselves feel better, even though we're going to hit 0 defense anyways, just from the other thing, we might as well give her an armor shred. Get some protection up just for funsies, because we have a little bit of purge. But you can see here we're already dealing some solid damage overall. Okay, we're going to get our healing back around, and we're going to go right in. Just kind of going basics for now. We almost have our stuff lined up. We just need her to take a turn. And unfortunately, she didn't take a turn. She took a turn where she didn't get the ability that we want off cooldown. So, we want her to just use basic and gain retribution. So we're just going to keep going basics for now. Oh, gosh. We're going to just clear off the retribution so we can survive a turn, honestly. And go for another round until we can get another round of foresight on us. So sometimes you'll have to do this where you have to be super careful on how you're doing things. Unfortunate, but I think we can still pull it off. So we're going to get the foresight going around. We'll go basic here. Okay, now that we're at that point where she's completely out of stacks, she has a full 10. This is where we go full in on her and try to kill her off. And so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You have to just be super careful and kind of play the odds. And there we go. So you can obviously lose Ninth Sister and still pull it off, as you saw right there. But basically you're just trying to hit that 10 stacks, and then you're just going in for the kill as much as you can. And so you want to kind of line up the 2 buff dispels. You want to be careful and use them strategically to be able to pop off that retribution when you're panicking and you need some time for yourself. Even if you have a foresight or 2 that hasn't been hit, it's better not to lose a guy. So you're going to pop those with the buff dispels as often as you want to, and then you also want to try and gain that healing ability up and running over and over again, just to keep your foresight up and keep your team alive. And then once you hit those 10 stacks, just all in and just absolutely massacre her. So tier 4 isn't that bad if you know the strat and you're using second sister lead. With fifth brother lead, the problem is you don't quite have enough damage to really make a difference, and so you kind of get stuck in this perpetual, you get her an inch away from death and then she regens health. And I have gotten to the point where I have done it with fifth brother. It's just much harder in my opinion. I'm sure with Relic 7, I'd probably just do the fifth brother just because it makes it easier to survive. But overall, that would be my suggestion to you. Okay, so we're jumping into tier 5 here. 5 is the second most annoying, honestly, of all of these. We're going to do second sister lead again. I have tried fifth brother lead a couple times on this, and it doesn't work as well, just because it's hard to get through Grand Inquisitor, it's hard to get through Yoda. It's annoying in my opinion. So I love the damage that we're getting from second sister, because these guys don't do a lot of damage. If you have high relics, once again I'm saying fifth brother is going to be your better bet. We did get some poor RNG there. You know, we talked about the fact that, he can end up with the ability block first, and it makes it much more annoying, as you can see here, because we're ending up having to try and go through him, and it's just painful to try and do. Regardless, though, you're still going to get through him with basically zero problems. It just takes a little bit longer. Voila. Jumping into Yoda. Yoda is really annoying because of his foresight. That's like the thing that he has tons of, is just foresight. That AoE deals so much damage in this event. It's insane. Okay, we're going to heal up him because he's the lowest. Go basic because we obviously can't land anything when he has foresight, and so most of the time you're going to be basicking. Solid amount of the foresight. So yeah, we're just going to basic because we can't hit him because he has foresight. Let's remove those buffs and that turn meter. Try to keep working on him. Avoid that middle ability like always on the Ninth Sister. Frickin' foresight right in time for us to layer on an armor shred. So annoying. Okay, we're going to remove all those buffs again. So this is obviously a fairly good run so far. Big hit. Kind of keep going. Basic. Basic. Frickin'. Right as we were ready to get another frickin' thing. Okay, let's get this out here again. Heal up. Once again, we have the frickin' foresight. The foresight's always prevalent. Is this unresistible? Can't be evaded or resisted. Sick. Do that. Remove all of it. Gosh dang it. Okay, big hit. Let's get that armor shred on. Obviously, you can do this without the armor shred. It just makes it so you don't have to deal with his foresight nonsense as much. That was a really unfortunate dodge. That could have been the win right there. Okay, and that should call it a day. Voila. So it's literally just kind of taking the time until you can finally kill him, because he doesn't really heal in the event. You just kind of take the time. Tier 6 is one of those interesting ones. We want to basically have the beefiness of the fifth brother. I would suggest for both Tier 6 and Tier 7, the fifth brother lead. It just works a little bit better for them. You can use second sister for both of them. It's just rough, honestly. So I'd switch to the fifth brother. It works really well. It's basically just keeping you guys alive for the opening play and whatever plays happen with the second tier. You also get more purge overall off of the fifth brother lead, and so it does make certain things a little easier, certain things a little harder. Sometimes the Grand Inquisitor can be a lot worse, and sometimes the Grand Inquisitor can be a lot better because of the lack of damage. It's just really dependent on you. Like, you know, got some good RNG here, so we're going to do a big hit. But yeah, we will eventually make our way through the Grand Inquisitor. I wouldn't worry too much about your guys getting too low of health. Like, as long as they have at least, you know, over half, you're usually fine going into the second tier. And there we go. Going into the second tier, we got Maul. You're basically just trying to survive the opening play at the beginning, and that's like the big thing you're trying to do at first. And as long as you can survive that opening play right there, you might get a turn beforehand, but it's not very common. As long as you can survive the opening play, though, you're doing good. Right here, we have our ability block up and ready. This won't always happen. If it's not up and ready, you can always just hit your heal right here and just kind of keep your guys alive. But you're basically just trying to control Maul as much as possible. Get as many purges on him as you can, and just keep him controlled. We are over the 5 stacks, so this comes super in handy. This is like a perfect RNG run. A lot of times you won't have a perfect RNG run like this. I am just going to basic. I want more protection up than that. We don't have enough for a stun, so let's just basic. Right here, we're going to heal. So this is a great RNG run. Sometimes you'll have to, you know, run it a couple times, but you're basically just trying to get as many purges as you can on him, healing immunity, and ability block as much as you can. Some, you know, stuff like that. It's super, super helpful to get him to die, because he'll just kill himself off if you get enough of that stuff on him. When he takes a turn. So right here, we're going to hit our ability block again, get that ability block out. It'll give us time to kind of put some work in on him, get that expose. And so obviously he is not doing hot at this point. Big hit as much as we can. Go for another hit. Unfortunate, really unfortunate dodge, but it's fine. We're obviously going to make it through. And so mostly you have that fifth brother lead just to survive. I want you guys to keep in mind, be careful where you put your seventh sister, because if she's like back here in this corner, you want to be able to have whoever's in this corner be ninth sister in a perfect world, just to make sure you can heal the right person, because I cannot tell you how many times I've accidentally healed the wrong person because ninth sister's beefy and you can't see past her. So have the ninth sister either in this slot or over here somewhere. Try not to have her in the slot I have her in right now. That was kind of a misplay on my part. Honestly, do I want to go in for the kill? Kinda. Yeah, let's just go in for the kill. I don't think we're gonna have any problem. These, you know. Oh, jeez, that's rough. It's fine. We'll just keep going. Get some protection up. Keep us alive. We got that healing immunity locked in. Let's get that stun out there. That'll be super nice to keep him basically debilitated for a turn. But yeah, sometimes he'll bounce back like that, and it's unfortunate. But that's the beauty of the fifth brother lead, is the fifth brother lead just makes it so you can just sit here forever and just never die, and so you can just keep working on him until you eventually get to the point where you have the right RNG to kill him. Remember, always avoid that ninth sister ability. Some big hits. Okay, and we should be basically there. That burning should kill him off regardless. Yep, and there we go. So even with some poor RNG, you can usually do pretty good with the fifth brother there. Jumping into tier 7. Tier 7, fairly easy, just in general. Same lead, fifth brother, we're just going for survivability. Same kind of dealio as always, we just play it the same way. And then once we get to the last person, it's kind of similar to the Yoda tier, where we're just trying to whittle him down and keep him controlled. It's like a mix of the Yoda tier and the Maul tier. And so you just want to keep him whittled down, ability blocked as much as possible, healing immunity, that kind of thing. So let's hit that Grand Inquisitor with our removal of turn meter as always. Jumping in. Get that expose. Big hit. Always got to put the, because it's not actually a big hit. Okay, I'm not going for the healing. I don't have any point to go for the healing. Yeah, so you can tell we get a lot more exposed and a lot more turn meter when you're on the fifth brother lead, by far. Okay, jumping into the second part, it is Obi-Wan, who has crazy abilities like, you know, insane amounts of speed, as well as basically just refreshing his cooldowns every turn. It's ridiculous. So we don't have any purge right now, so I'm just gonna hit this ability just for fun, get some speed down on him. Let's get some foresight out there, keep people alive. We don't have enough purge for an armor shred, so we'll just kind of leave it there. Get some protection up, keep our guys alive. Just basic, do that foresight. But yeah, once again, just like Yoda, he doesn't really heal too much, and so you can kind of just go for him and just keep whittling away at him, which is why the fifth brother lead works fairly well for this one, because he just deals a lot of damage. Solid blind. Ooh, getting a nice expose. He does have a lot of health, so an expose will take away a lot of his protection at the beginning. No point to really hitting any of the abilities because we had foresight on him, and you just kind of keep whittling away. Ooh, we're getting scary, but luckily we got that heal ready to go. Basic. Basic. Still basics. Gotta love the foresight. I don't. I genuinely hate the foresight, dude. Okay, this is unavoidable, so we're gonna hit him with it and just take off everything. It gives us a perfect setup to a armor shred right there, making this quite a bit easier. Keep working on him. Now we're dealing more damage. Big hit. And he's back into his BS. We're gonna keep going though, of course. We're almost at the point where we can kill him. We might lose, you know, Ninth Sister here. It's fine, you know. We have all our damage on the team. Burning killed him off. So really not too hard. Overall, this event, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. While recording this, I did have to try a couple events over again, hence the cuts at certain times, because, like, you know, some of them were just bad RNG on Grand Inquisitor, and I got stuck behind him for too long. You know, a couple of them were just getting to that second tier, and, like, for instance, on the Ezra one, I ended up a couple times where Ezra just killed Seventh Sister immediately 3 times in a row, and it drove me crazy. I'm like, dude, this RNG is not that hard. Why? But then I've also gone through this event, like, doing this strat, and I've done every single tier first try before. And so, like, the RNG is just kind of wild for this event. But overall, you follow this guide, you're going to be fine, especially if you take him to Relic 7. I'm not saying take him to Relic 7, but if you have those 2 Zetas, you have the turn order correct, and you have some solid offense, you know, crit damage, that kind of stuff for your mods, you're not going to have much of a problem. Please do not suffer like I did. Do not spend the 2 hours on Ahsoka that I did. Just go the easy route. Follow this guide. And please, if you have any suggestions or anything where you're like, oh yeah, I got this speed a little bit faster and it was even better for its RNG, or, you know, oh, I did it at lower mods, please throw it in the comments section. We want to be able to help the damn community as much as we can, make sure everyone can do this tier as easy, or this guy overall journey just as easily as possible. Also, if you don't want your guildmates to suffer, please share with your guildmates. I know it's entire guilds usually going for Grand Inquisitor, so, you know, help a brother out, you know? Be a good guildmate and share this video. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. It does help me out. We're trying to hit 1,700 subscribers right now. And if you can hit that like button, always helps me out too. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.